Today is going to be a bit of a different kind of video. Today we're going to be going through every single one of these friggin' companies on here who I have spoken to, who I have worked for, or who I have just heard about or anything, who you may be interested in knowing contact information or what they're all about, or just more than what you may have found in the classifieds, a more deep dive into the company and things that, that I have experienced talking to their recruiters or that I have gone through personally. Good piece of information to have if you are an owner-operator, a company called atbs.com. They are a tax preparation company. So if you have expenditures, business expenses, if you're keeping all your fuel receipts, all that kind of stuff, those guys for like a one-time fee, from what I understand, from a one-time fee, you pay these guys once a month or whatever the hell it is, they will prepare everything, do everything for you, figure out what tax breaks you deserve, which ones you don't deserve, and what you can use, can't use, all that kind of stuff. Find things that even like H&R Block wouldn't be able to find. So if you're an owner-operator, maybe look those guys up, and you might be able to save a few bucks, or maybe a hell of a lot more. From what I understand, anyway. All right. Companies that I refuse to work for usually share some common traits, such as if they sound like they're stupid, if they can't answer the most basic of questions, if they try to hurry the conversation along, just try to sucker you into the driver's seat. These tactics raise giant red flags for me, personally, right out of the gate. A lot of companies that I have listed below are the kind of jerks that want to send you spam robot texts and auto-dialed calls, despite you specifically unchecking the box in the application telling them to not contact you in such a manner. So what the hell's the point of having that? And then they go and they want you to fill out their applications, go to drug tests, wasting your gas and even more precious time, all for a pipe dream fantasy that never culminates in any sort of employment. Some of these companies I may have said no to simply for the fact that they had the wrong truck, the wrong trailer, or even simple wrong governed speed. So again, just because I said no to these companies doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case for you. So a lot of these companies, I just wrote down, if, they never contacted me, I wrote, they never contacted me. For the ones that did, I tried to get more into the habit of writing down what they say their governed speed is, what their home time is, trying to get all that information so that I can have a more detailed video for you. So I will try to chapter mark this video so that you can skip forward to the next company and try to list what companies are at what times. It's going to be a pain in the ass for me. So I hope you fucking appreciate it. Me personally, I don't believe that any semi-truck should be governed less than 70 miles per hour. It's just fucking blows my mind that they want you to drive cross country and they're going to make you do so at less than 70. It's fucking ridiculous to me. So any company that is less than 70 miles an hour, I pretty much just say no to right out of the gate. I don't run teams. I don't like to do flatbed, so a lot of these times I may just write down that this is a flatbed company and I don't write much more information. If you'd like to do flatbed, maybe you can call those guys and see if they might be a good fit for you, but they're not for me, so I may not have a lot of information about them. So, for varying reasons, most of the companies listed below are my recommendations for you to never work for, and some companies I won't work for certain reasons, and so on. Here's the key. If I put exclamation points on here, that means I have contacted them, filled out their applications, sent them emails, messages, whatever, multiple times. Each exclamation point represents another time frame of me trying to contact them to go to work for them. DNCL, that means they are on my do not contact list. For those of you that don't know, this is information that has been around since at least the 90s. If you tell a company, that means some spammer just calls you out of the blue and says, hey, we'd like you to work for us. And you're like, I don't know who the hell you are. Put me on your company's do not contact list. You hang up. If they call you again after you informing that company to put you on their do not contact list, you can sue them. I believe at that time, back in the 90s, it was $1,500 for a first offense, and the number goes up from there if they keep calling you. there's a lot of companies on here that keep calling you, no matter how many times you tell them to put you on their do not contact list. So there's a lot of people in here that owe me a lot of money. So be aware that anytime I have ever put a company in my do not contact list and I have informed them to do so, they all called me again. Not a one of them has ever stopped the harassment. So if they're on my do not contact list, just so you know, they won't stop fucking with you. EEO means a company violated the Equal Employment Opportunity Law. FELD, that means flexible ELD. Companies that want you to drive 5,000 miles a week, 6,000 miles a week. Hell, even 4,000 is a fucking stretch without running yourself ragged or just frying your mind from all the fog line, the fog and zipper line just passing you, all the mile marker posts just going insane from the sheer amount of miles that you're racking up on the odometer. So, flexible ELD could also mean that they're going in there and modifying your logs behind your back with your permission. Doesn't matter. They're changing shit so that you can squeeze a couple of more miles, a couple of more hours out of the day, which is illegal because that's not what the edit log option is for. So they go in there, they change that shit, and they think, oh, well, we're not doing anything illegal. The fuck you're not. So if I write down a company as flexible ELD or FELD, watch out. Again, these are all the flags. I'm just giving you the information. What you choose to do with it, if you want to go work for these people, you want to roll the dice with them, it's entirely on you. INAWT means I never applied with them. So why the fuck are they calling me? NCMB. Never called me back. No matter how many times I contact these people, and again, the exclamation points, they never called me back. Don't know why they never did. They never called me to let me know why they didn't call me. So, NRC. No rental car. So they don't provide a rental car. I have a dog. So any company that doesn't have a pet policy, I'm not going to go work for. I'm going to bring my dog along, which means I can't get on a train, a plane, a bus. I need to have a vehicle. So if they're close enough to where I live, I can drive my personal vehicle. But if they're off in fucking Miami or Tacoma, Washington, or God knows where, I need a rental car provided by the company to get there. So if the company doesn't provide one, obviously I'm not going to go work for them. So I may stop collecting information about that company that I can give to you at that point. RE, recent experience. What the fuck does that even mean? We want you to have 2 years recent experience. If your dog died 2 years ago, do you go around telling everybody, oh, it happened recently? 2 years ago? 3 years recent experience. What the fuck does that mean? 3 years ago is not recent. So, again, the stupidity of it. Again, red flag, company you may not want to go work for. RM. They spam the fuck out of you with robo messages. They just have some robo-dialed, unanswered, unpaid attention to fucking thing. Any message, you could put a period in there and send, and they will send you copy and paste the same fucking message that they just sent you, no matter what you send to them. So, robo-message people, again, huge red flag. They're just assholes that are just trying to get you in the seat and fuck you. They don't care about you. They're trying to get you in the seat to get it? RTAQ. They refuse to answer my questions. Again, the motherfuckers that are talking quick, not letting you get a word in edgewise, and they say, okay, can I send you, so I've given you all the information about the company. Can I send you the application? And it's like, sure, block. So, again, the red flags, they just trying to get you in the seat. Truckers are a dime a dozen. They don't fucking care about you. Those aren't the companies you want to go work for. And I have one company in here that actually sounded good that I haven't gone to go work for yet. So I will save that for the end somewhere. Not going to tell you where. Not going to bookmark that or anything. So if you want to find out who that company is, who my recommendation of somebody you could check out is, you're going to have to watch. RTO means rent to own or lease to purchase. So anytime I put RTO, that's what that means. So Some companies are company driver they're looking for. Some companies are owner operators they're looking for. Some companies are offering a lease purchase rental system. So RTO is what that means. Referral programs are bullshit. So are bonuses, detention pay, sign-on bonuses. Don't fall for the snake oil salesman pitch bullshit. So anytime I hear them say, oh, it's $1,000 sign-on bonus, you may get that 2 years from now. Okay, so any company that's offering that shit, we offer detention pay and breakdown pay and blah, blah, fucking bereavement pay, blah, blah. Whatever it is, I don't give a shit what they're promising me. We'll give you a Ferrari if we keep you at a place too long. Anything they say to you is bullshit. I don't listen to any of it. So I just pay attention to the things that are the most relevant that I have found that companies tend to stick to keeping their word. Companies to avoid is what I've got listed here. First, Platinum Freight Inc. Chicago liars. What that means is they said their company was somewhere else, and when I finally got to contacting them and actually asking questions, they finally said, oh, we're based out of Chicago. Then why did you fucking say you're out of Salt Lake City? You know, why did you say that you're out of New York City? You know, and then they turn around and say, oh, we're out of Chicago. It's, of course you are. So again, anytime they do that kind of shit, it's just, they're just trying to put you in the truck to fuck you. So again, companies to avoid and good reasons to avoid them. RTAQ, DNCL. Fourth Day Trucking. Brooklyn Heights, Missouri. That's all I've got listed for them. That means they never called me back. 4S Universal Inc. FELD. 4,500 miles a week. Holy fuck. Hang on. Let's do the math on this. 4,500 divided by 7. 643 miles per day. Per day! When are you picking up or dropping off a load during that week? How many hours are they taking up to do that? That means 700, 800, 900 miles on a couple of those days, if not the rest of the days, because they fucked you during the pickup or drop off. Again, anybody that says 4,000, anywhere near, you say 3,500 or more, I'm out immediately because I know they're gonna fuck you. They're gonna fuck you hard. They're gonna find some way to stretch that number. Oh, if he's cool running 3,500, why not 6,500? 721 Parkwood, one word, LLC. United States is where they claim to be. Dry-van, OTR, they claim $2,000 to $3,100 per week is what you can make. 60 cents per mile, what the fuck? How are you making $3,100 at 60 cents per mile? Flexible ELD, that's how. AAA Freight Inc. Never called me back, and when they finally did, they're on my do not contact list. Abco, 55 cents per mile. Peterbilt's with APUs. Pet and rider friendly, whatever the fuck that means. Company and RTO. 3-year terms, no trailer rental fee, no cost for reefer fuel. 100% no touch. Reefer, 14 days out. They don't say how many days you get home. So they want you out for 2 weeks, but they don't say what you're getting home. The orientation is in Ocala, Florida. No reimbursement for travel expenses to orientation. 352-608-3003. Robo-message the fuck out of me. They're on my do not contact list. Accented. I don't know if that's an L or an I don't fucking know. It's one word, whatever it is. They claim to be out of Park, Missouri, and that's all I have for them. ACT. American Central Transport. Pittsburgh, Kansas, where they claim to be out of, never called me back. AG Expedited. Kansas City is where they claim to be out of. They're actually out of Chicago. They're on my do not contact list. AGI Trucking, Chicago. 60 cents per mile. They use Pilot for their fuel cards. They're on my do not contact list. AGM Transport, Kansas is where they claim to be out of. That's all I have for them. AH Trucking LLC, aka Impact Solutions. They're out of Neosho, Missouri. $1,500 a week minimum is what they claim. Health insurance offered, whatever the hell that means. Home weekly, they claim. Tanker endorsement preferred, but not required, they claim. Again, this is all what they say. I'm just writing down what they say. So, take their word for it. I'm parroting back to you what they say to me. 2 years experience required. Hopper bottom trailers. No 401k at this juncture. 417-456-6404. AIM Transportation Solutions. Robo messages, they're on my do not contact list. Albany Trucking, Joplin, I believe that's Missouri. One-click application on ZipRecruiter was actually a 5-parter. I don't know how to count to 1, but I think you're out a couple of numbers there. Missouri. 1 click. How many fucking pages did I have to change? 5! 5 pages! 1 click. Jesus fucking hell. Alefay Freight Inc. Pittsburgh, Kansas. That's all I got for them. Again, that's because these people aren't calling me back. If that's all the information I got, they don't fucking call me back at all. So, Alibi Logistics LLC, Kansas City. So, RTO, flat fee starting at $750. What? Blatant scam. To reiterate what I just said, a flat fee that starts at $750. Meaning it goes up. Flat fee, which means the numbers don't go higher. Flat fee starting at wherever the fuck we want it to. No rental car. They're actually in Chicago. Kansas City, huh? Actually in Chicago. They're on my do not contact list. Now, 708-575-4618. When I put a phone number in here and then I've got words after, that means this information was gathered after the phone call. So the information before the phone number was gathered from whatever advertisement they had. This is from their mouths. Let's see. She asked me if they could pay for an Uber. I said I'd be willing to do that, even though it sounded like it would be incredibly expensive for the company. From where I'm like 600, 700, 800 miles away from Chicago. An Uber for 800 fucking miles sounds like a lot of money. I'm willing to do it. But okay. And then she asked me if I'd be willing to take a flight. And then take an Uber. So Uber to the airport, I'm assuming. From the airport, another Uber. Okay. Now wait a minute. I said, if that was the case, I said no. And she didn't ask why. She just immediately said they weren't interested in me working for them. That was it. That was the end of the conversation. Didn't ask why. I've got a dog. He's right here. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna take him in the Uber, on the plane. Can't do that. Because I don't know how to do that. I don't know the process. I don't know what it costs. I don't know if I need to buy one of those fucking carrier things. I don't know if they're going to lose him. No. Would you put your kid in a cage? You probably would. Would you put your kid in a cage and have them put him in the fucking cargo hold of a plane and risk losing him? Depends on how shitty of a parent you are and how much of a monster of a kid you have because of how shitty of a parent you are. You might do that. But I like my fucking dog because I have trained my dog properly to be a good dog. So I don't want to lose my fucking dog. Especially because of jackasses like this. Ali Star Inc. Cincinnati, flexible ELD. Allstate, one word, Freight LLC. Played bullshit games with me. RTAQ, DNCL. Alltech, one word, Inc. Never called me back. They're on my do not contact list. American Expediting Services. United States is where they claim to be out of. Teams, Hazmat, TWIC, and passport required. Amerifreight, one word, Systems LLC. Never called me back. Anderson Trucking Service Inc., aka ATS. RM, Robo Messages, DNCL. Andrews Logistics, St. Louis, is where they claim to be out of. Never called me back. ANR Logistics, Kansas City. Never called me back. APL Cargo. Never called me back. Robo Messages. They're on my do not contact list. ARCA. I'm assuming that's how you say it. RM. And they're on my do not contact list. Art Pappy Transfer Inc. aka Tucker Freight Lines. Listed below. We'll tell you about them later. Art Transport Inc. 55 cents per mile, 3,200 miles a week maximum, they claim. Maximum. No more than 3,200. Reefer and Dry Van. W2, not 1099. Never called me back, and they're on my do not contact list. Artur Express. 3 years after applying, they finally sent me a reply email asking me if I want to apply for a job with them, but supplied zero information about the job. 314-433-0460 if you're interested in working for them. ASAP Trans Corp. Never called me back. They're on my do not contact list. Askent Expedite, aka Askent Global Logistics. Never called me back. They're on my do not contact list. ATG, 65 cents per mile, flexible ELD, Chicago. I never applied with them, and they're on my do not contact list. ATS, never called me back. Auto House Inc., aka AHT, Transport. Never called me back. Awesome Refrigerated Transit of Iowa, aka ARTI. Minimum 12 days out for 1 day home. Tanker endorsement required in 90 days, not right out of the gate. Reefer. It's a reefer. They want you to get your tanker after 90. You can work for them without reefer, the tanker, and then what? They throw you straight into a tanker after that? So only the newbies run reefer? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, 1 year OTR experience required. Peterbilt trucks, 319-646-2416 if you're interested. Azame Express LLC. I never applied with them. Teams only. They're on my do not contact list. B and B. St. Louis. Equal Employment Opportunity Law Violators. B and Z Logistics Inc., Missouri. They're liars. They're on my do not contact list. And again, EEO. Baggy Logistics, aka Magnum Freight. That's all I've got for them. Neither one of those two companies have contacted me back. So, Balkan Express LLC, Oklahoma City. 55 cents per mile. They never called me back. Bard Logistics Inc., Kansas City. Liars. Actually in Lansing, Illinois, which is Chicago. 60 cents per mile. Volvos and Freightliners. 69 mile per hour cruise. 71 on the paddle. What the fuck does paddle mean? I'm quoting them here. 21 days out for 7 days home. Flexible ELD, 4,000 miles a week, which works out to 572 a day, does it? We just did the thing on. Oh, yeah, because 4,500 is 642, which works out to 572 mile per day without ever stopping for fuel or deliveries. Pilot for the fuel card, $10.99, 3 years OTR experience required. Dry vans, 203-243-8755. Baumgartner and Sons, Inc., North Dakota, Hazmat. That's all I've got for them. Bay and Bay. Trust me, fuck them. And I've got like 20 exclamation points. BB8 Freight. Never called me back. I've got 4 exclamation points. That means I applied with them numerous times. 21 days out for no mention of home time. OTR. Must have an established LLC before you go to work for them. 100% live loads. They claim $1,800 to $3,500 a week. You must be willing to tarp. Apparently they do flatbeds. They didn't mention shit about it. So, 18 months verifiable OTR experience required. They claim to have a passenger program, whatever the fuck that means. No mention of a pet policy. Beacon, aka Beacon Transport. Again, I hate these fucking companies where I have to put an AKA in there because they numerous different companies, or you apply with one company, you get a phone call from somebody else. So that, I don't know if that's third party recruiting where they're just handing the shit off or what, I don't know, but I know it's annoying as hell, or they're doing this whole umbrella thing, we're all working together. I don't know, but if they do that kind of shit, as far as I'm concerned, same fucking company. So. They think 2 years ago is recent. 53 cents per mile, pet and rider program, whatever the fuck that means, 3,000 plus miles per week, 14 days out, no mention of home time, 50% drop and hook, 100% no-touch freight, $1,500 a week average. Must be able to qualify for a TWIC card. I don't know how the fuck you qualify for one. But it doesn't say that you actually have to obtain one, just that you have to qualify for one. Their words, not mine. So, never called me back, 615-471-5700. B-Make. Or is it B-Make? It's B-Make. You have to hold on, there's double E, so B-Make. Okay, never called me back. B Exposed Marketing, aka Trucker for Hire, third-party recruiting company. Texas phone number, hires for Heartland Express, 865-297-5540 and 940-218-4926. That's all the information I have on them. Billor, fake book ad, Orlando, Florida. Keep Truckin' / Motive is who they use for their ELD. RTO with a 4-year term maximum for a truck with 500,000 miles on it. $300 a week for the dry van trailer, or $300 a week for the dry van trailer, or $500 for a reefer, or $300 for a flatbed, and you must tarp. So they do charge you for the trailers. So the truck cost is $750 a week, $156K, which is a blatant ripoff. So a truck with 500,000 miles on it, they want you to pay $156,000 to them for. For a 2021 Freightliner, they claim they'll provide you with a backup truck in case of an emergency. And that's probably up to their discretion to determine what an emergency is. The flatbed or dry van trailer cost is $48,000 total. The reefer is $96,000 total. Insurance for the truck and trailer is $500 additional per week, which is a blatant ripoff. It's a lot of fucking money. It's $2,000 a fucking week. $2,000 a month. Fucking hell. Lubs or pilot fuel card. They claim to give you 3% cash back for using the fuel card. 1099. You don't need an LLC to get started with them. 65 mile per hour govern speeds. Inward and outward facing cameras. Pets okay. Whatever the hell that means. Riders must have a CDL and med card. Now this is that weird company. So Teams driving is okay. So I'm still waiting on a callback. When the fuck did I talk to these guys? I'm still waiting on a callback? This was at least a year ago. I wrote this down. Waiting on callback to see if they'll do a rental car. When he called me, my phone actually reported that it's a spam risk, his phone number. 239-363-6084. Updated info after they started the onboarding process for me. So in the middle of editing this video, come to find out that my camera cut off right there, which means I have to reread this whole damn thing to you. Let's see. Updated info after they started the onboarding process for me. You do not purchase the trailer, you rent it. Yet another ripoff. $20 carbon neutral fee per load, whatever the fuck that means. Company load fee averaging $300 per load. The company also charges you a fee if you ever get a ticket. Example, if you get a $160 ticket for parking in a Walmart parking lot. They also expect you to run 3,600 plus miles per week, even in a week where you have 4 separate loads. Just as an example, they gave to me. According to their math, they claim you'll make $3,100 per week on average. According to my math, you won't make $2,000. So who are you going to believe? On a good week. All in all, I said no to this opportunity. I would rather be poor and not be taken so disgustingly advantaged of. Bison Transport USA. That's all I got. Bountiful Trucking LLC. North Dakota never called me back. Borney Transport LLC. Joplin, do not contact list. Blackhawk never called me back. Bright Star Express LLC. 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week. 2 years experience required. OTR 1099. Reefer only. 773-457-4902. If you're interested, but they're on my do not contact list. Brighty. Chicago and no pet policy. Buchanan. Buchanan. I don't know how the fuck they pronounce it. Hauling and Rigging Inc., aka whatever, specialized. Flatbed only. Fort Wayne, Indiana, 866-683-6688 if you're interested. Bulk Transport Company, aka BTC. Missouri, never called me back. Bunzel, unless that's an I. I don't know if it's an L or an I. That's all I got for them. Butler Transport. Kansas never called me back. Kaliros Empire. You must have your own authority. Cargo Empire LLC /trucking. So is it Cargo Empire Trucking, Cargo Empire I don't fucking know. I didn't go into specifics on that one. Nevada Liars. They're actually out of Chicago. There ain't no fucking Nevada in Chicago as far as I know. So, Flexible ELD. They're on my do not contact list, but they kept emailing me anyway. Cargo Network Solutions. Chicago. Never called me back. CB22 Transportation. Never called me back. They're on my do not contact list. CDL Power LLC. They're out of Joplin. Never called me back. CDL Explore. 847-220-5459. Douchebags. Probably not even their real company name. CEI. They refuse to report your work experience, so you cannot use this company as verifiable employment if you go to another company. If they go out of business, anything fucking happens. The owner of the company dies and whatever, and the company just goes belly up, you can't use them as verifiable experience. CDL Life, aka Clark Transportation. Never called me back. Central Expedited. Never called me back. 6 exclamation points. Centerline. Company's real name is True Blue. One word. Inc. They're out of Wichita, they claim. 100% driver unload. $32 an hour. 1 year recent experience required. Hauling the mail. I don't know if they want you to have experience hauling the mail or if you're going to be hauling the mail and they want you to have 1 year of OTR experience required. They didn't specify, so I'm just reporting to you what they had. 855-290-3385. This goes without saying, but if you have a criminal record that, such as tampering with the mail, don't fucking apply at a job where you're hauling the mail. I went and I did a job. Hauling the mail was one of the funnest jobs as a truck driver that I've ever done. It's regional. You do a loop around your region. You picking up the mail, dropping off the mail. You get back to your main terminal where you started from. You do the loop again. Boom, that's the end of your day. It was simple. It was pre-planned. You knew what to expect. You know what roads you can take. All that shit. It was the best. I can't remember what the hell I got paid, but if you're getting paid $32 an hour, that's good fucking money right there. Especially for a job that doesn't fucking suck donkey dick. So, they have these little rolling carts, and all you do is you just take these carts off the trailer, and you let them sort them and organize them and do whatever. If they got some stuff that's going to the next place, you take the thing out, you put it in. They have these little pins that slide out from the bottom, go into these little holes that are in the floors of the trailer. Basically a dry van trailer. I don't think it's 53 foot. I think it's shorter than that. I don't think it was 20 foot, but it's shorter than that. Day cab, probably manual transmission, depending on where you are. I think I did both when I was hauling the mail. But yeah, one of the guys that apparently applied, started worked for them for like a week or something until the background check came back. So I don't know why the fuck they didn't run the guy's background check before that. He got fired from doing that because he had tampering with the mail. So it's one of the funnest jobs you can do, but for goddamn sure, don't fuck with the mail. It's a good job. Fun job. I loved it, so. And that's high praise from me, because everybody else I'm telling you about is fucking dog shit, so. If you get the chance to haul the mail, fucking hold on to that one. I had to leave that town, I had to move, and that fucking sucked, because I had to let go of that job. So. They're mostly local jobs, yeah. So. This was a third-party recruiter, mostly local jobs, some non-CDL. So if you're interested in that company. So again, they're a third-party recruiter. They don't actually haul the mail or whatever. CFI, 65 mile per hour government speed, 48 cent per mile. Packer engines, do not contact list for obvious reasons. C.H. Robinson, never called me back. Co-Lines Inc., Kansas City, a.k.a. KDA Logistics. They claim $1,500 to $3,500 plus per week is what you'll make. walk away lease. Okay, so I guess it's a rent to own position. No balloon payment at the end, and that's huge. You want to make sure if you ever get involved in one of those, no balloon payment. That fucking thing, it could come out of nowhere, $10,000, $20,000 balloon payment. And they expect that fucking money, and they're gonna be up your ass about it. And, you know, they'll fuck you on that deal. So you make sure you got 30 grand sitting in the bank if there is a balloon payment. Just a fucking heads up if you didn't know that. Again, truckers are a dime a dozen. They don't give two flying fucks about you in this industry. So if you don't look out for you, ain't nobody else gonna. Seriously. No balloon payment at the end. Weekly truck payment, $600 to $1,000 a week. 156 weeks to 260 weeks. Dry van, reefer, or flatbed, 630, Chicago area code, 757-7668. Never called me back, wasted my time applying, sent an email to my spam folder saying they chose to go with somebody else. Then, years later, out of the fucking blue, they started robo-spamming the shit out of me with pictures of trucks. Now they're on my do not contact list. Computer Concept, never called me back. Commercial Transport Inc., St. Louis, never called me back. Confidential, never called me back. Convoy Systems LLC, never called me back. CIE Transport, Chicago. Oh, you thought I was going to say never call me back. Flexible ELD and no rental car. They should have never called me back. Clark Transportation, Missouri. They claim their only hiring criteria is must have 2 years OTR experience. Direct quote. 628-214-7712. If you're interested, the liars actually called me and claimed I filled out an application with their company. I called them out on this lie, because I never did, and told them to put me on their do not contact list. So, if you want a company that right out of the gate is lying to you before you ever even applied to them, by all means, give them a call. Cloud Trucks, one word. Fake AI spam caller. Called me back. Yeah, they called me back the next night with an actual person. They called me with an AI, hello, how are you, type fucking thing, and then called me with a person the next night after I told their AI, put me on your do not contact list. The actual person asked me my credit score for rent to own. That's not fucking weird. Told me I would need a down payment of $2,000 to $3,500. Again, as I said, they're on my do not contact list. Clover Express Inc., 65 cents per mile, Chicago, no rental car, do not contact list. Clutch Logistics, I got nothing for them. Cobra Inc., OTR, 18 months experience required, company or RTO. Dry van, never called me back. Cold Rush Express, robo-messaged the fuck out of me. Ralph calls me twice and hangs up immediately. Then texts me and immediately follows that up with a bunch of emails sent to my spam folder. Do not contact list, 801-386-7474 if that sounds like the company for you. Comtrain. One word, whatever the fuck it is. Never called me back. 4 exclamation points. Continental Freight, never called me back. RTAQ, so refuse to answer questions, do not contact list. Cornerstone, one word, Logistics LLC, Chicago. Core Carrier Corporation, aka, you guessed it, Sharky Transportation Inc. You would expect CCC, no, you're fucking wrong. Sharky Transportation Inc. and Sysbro Inc. Robo-text spammers, they're on my do not contact list. Cowan Systems LLC will not talk to you unless you fill out their Intella app first. There's a lot of companies that do that. That is ridiculous as hell. They'll call you, they'll talk to you, and they'll just say, oh, hey, do you have time to fill out an application? It's like, sure, and then that's pretty much the end of it because They're just fast talking, trying to get you into the seat. And then, will you fill out the application? It's like, I'd like to find out if I even want to work for your company before I waste the time of filling out your fucking 25-minute long application or going through the glitched out bullshit of IntelliApp /10 Street and whatever else that's going on there that has been going on for the last 3 years straight, even though I have called IntelliApp and 10 Street and told them about the problem. They will not fix the glitches of their system. So, yeah, like I want to go through more bullshit on top of having to fill out the application just to have a company decide, fuck this guy. We're not even going to call him to say he can go fuck himself. So any company that wants you to fill out their application without talking to you first to find out whether or not you even want to work for this company or want to roll the dice filling out the application, fuck that company. Crene Transportation Services, LLC. Company driver or RTO. Walk-away lease and no balloon payment, or so they claim. No balloon payment at the end. They do drive-in. The trailer is also rent or rent to own. $300 a week. So you could either rent the trailer from them or you could purchase it. $300 a week, $10.99. 4 months experience required. So that doesn't sound too bad. Crete Carrier Corp, aka Crete Carrier and Schaefer Trucking and whatever the fuck else. I don't know which one of those companies is the main one, if they're doing like a Swift Night crossover thing, if they're partnering up or if they're just like, oh, hey, we're in it together. And then when the shit hits the fan, they're like, oh, those guys, they did it. Fuck with them. We got nothing to do with that. So I don't know. Maybe it's the same company. Maybe it's multiple companies. I don't know. Anyway, never called me back. I've got like 10 exclamation points there. So, see their trucks all over the damn place, but, fuck you too. CR England. As you already knew, for like the last 10 years, they were the laughingstock of the trucking industry. They were like 13 cents per mile when everybody else was like 40 and up. So, yeah, anyway, never called me back in 7 years of applying. Until 2025, they finally called me back. Orientation is in Salt Lake City. Allegedly, they do 70 cents per mile now. I guess you got sick of being the fucking ass of everybody's jokes, huh? They claim they won't hire you unless you have driven a truck within the last 12 months. So, if you take a break, if you got fired, if you quit a job and nobody else is hiring you, whatever, they won't hire you unless you have driven a truck within the last 12 months. They didn't say you have to have 3 years within the last 12 months or 12 within the last 3 years or a certain amount of experience within the last and all that kind of shit. So what happened to their whole rental, we'll help you to get your CDL if you work for us for 6 months and we're going to pay you 13 cents a mile. What happened to that bullshit if they're expecting you to have driven a truck within the last 12 months? So what happened to all that? Yeah, still not a company that you want to go work for. CRL. Yes, I got a lot of information on this one. Let's see. Wichita, which is in Kansas. They're actually in Arkansas. I went to these assholes' orientation driving for somebody else. I drove 400 miles to get to the orientation, sat through the entire goddamn thing. At the end of it, At the end of it, they refused to put me in a motel, which is something they promised they were going to do. The truck I was in, you can't sleep in it, all that kind of shit. And they were promising me a motel where I could sleep for the night and all that kind of shit. And I was looking forward to having the shower, blah, blah, blah. And just all of a fucking sudden, again, they promised it. And at the time, I was probably, oh, Jesus, I really needed a shower. Let's put it that way. So I was dead set on, you've promised me a motel room. Give me the fucking motel room. I want the shower. I need the shower. You promised the shower. Give me the shower. So That's the one and only fucking thing I was asking out of all this you put me through. I drove 400 fucking miles to come here under the promises and the guises and everything else that this was going to happen. Get there and everything falls through. Remember, owner-operators have a lot more leniency with a company, and that's basically what I was. Since I was driving for somebody else, it's his truck, so they're doing owner-operator as if he was the one that was in the truck. I'm the one that's in the truck, so it's still owner-operator thing. So they were treating me, an owner-operator. They were basically saying, oh, you know that thing we promised you? Just one fucking motel room? One? For one night? Fuck you. So, they're doing that to an owner-operator, which means you don't want to be even a company driver with these guys. If they're doing that to an owner-operator and saying fuck you on just a motel room during orientation, when they should be throwing candy and glitter and confetti and all kinds of shit. Hey, come and work for us, dude. It's so fucking awesome over here. They should be doing all that kind of stuff. And they're going, we're not giving you a fucking motel room. They should be trying to lure you in, to sucker you in to the company, and instead, they're already letting their lies shine through and their falsities and everything. So, CRL is a company you may not want to go work for. Let's see. 14 days out. Again, if you're interested. Rider program, whatever the fuck that means. 479-979-4020. I ended up just driving back, and I tossed the dude the keys. I don't want nothing to do with this. Cross Integrated Transport. They're out of Texas. No pets, and they're on my do not contact list. CTI, Central Trucking Inc. They're out of Springfield, Missouri. They claim 78 cents per mile, 70 mile per hour cruise control, or governed speed. Qualcomm. 800-299-8099 if you're interested. Curless Trucking LLC. Hopper Bottom. They won't talk to you unless you do an application first. Curry Logistics Management. Never called me back.